Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Wellness Wake Up Weekly and welcome Jack Jack. He's our special guest for today. Oh my goodness, he's so cute.
He is. He is adorable. And I don't know why he's decided that he needs to sit on my lap today. So we'll see how long he stays. I don't know.
He's like, I'll just
Anyway.
give you kisses.
Yeah, I don't know what his obsession is this morning, but okay.
That's all right. He needs mama time. Very cute.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised that Alani is not in here, like right up in here. But I also had to kick her out of my chair so I could sit down, and she wasn't very happy, so she went away.
She's mad at you.
Yes. Well, for those of you who are watching, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Wellness Wake Up Weekly with Christine and I. And we will quickly introduce ourselves. But today we're excited to share with you some things that were aha moments, some realizations, some things that we learned this month. And so, Christine, go ahead and introduce yourself. And Jack.
I am Christine Lunceford, and I live in North Central Arkansas. It is going to be a beautiful day today. I am an Empower You coach. Super excited. I'm going to be doing classes at the college locally starting in May. So super excited. And this is Jack Jack. And Jack Jack is one of our 4 Jack Russells. And Jack Jack was named after the baby in The Incredibles because he could go from super sweet to an absolute terror like instantly when he was a puppy. And he hasn't outgrown that. And Jack Jack is 5 this year, 6. He'll be 6 this year.
Oh.
So, and he turned gray in I don't know, the last 8 months.
I was going to say pretty recently, right? Because I don't remember him when you first introduced me to him via video, since I've never been here. Yes, he didn't have the little white phase. Oh, he looked so
well, and his name was going to be Duncan because his nose was white and the rest of his head was brown. Well, I'm glad we didn't do that. So anyway, Carrie Marie, introduce yourself.
And I have to make a note. You said that you're going to be doing classes at a college. You're going to be leading the classes. You are going to be the instructor. Like, that's a big deal. So.
I got my instructor link last week and I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Oh, so cool. Yes. So anyone who's interested in that, I'm sure that Christine can share the link with you. So drop a comment and let us know if you are local to Christine in Arkansas, and if you want to be taking some classes at the college. What's the name of the college for those who are watching?
It is ASUMH, which is Arkansas State University in Mountain Home. And one of the classes I actually also teach, I coach online one-on-one. So anybody who's not local, they can get the food freedom method, even long distance, and that's okay. Freeze dried, I haven't started teaching that one online yet, but if somebody's interested, let me know and I can see what I can do.
Yeah. I'm sure that you can make it work. How fun.
Absolutely, because it's not okay. The people that are here get to taste food. But so anyway.
All right. So I am Carrie Marie Vaughn, and I am in upstate New York, and I am an Unstickify Your Life coach. And that means that I help you get unstuck in different areas of your life, whether it be your finances, your health, your relationships, or just not taking action toward your goals. Like maybe you have been procrastinating on some things for years, or just feeling stuck in different areas and you don't even know why. So that's what I help you with. I help you to find where you're stuck and help you release that so that you can get moving toward the direction of the life that you want to be living. So I love it. It's so fun.
I love it too that you do it because you've unstuck me.
Yes. And it's just so thrilling to be able to watch people after they have had things released, including you. And it's just been amazing. So anyway, today looks like it might be a nice day. It's been very cold. Like, notice I have a sweater on again because it's been cold still. It's supposed to be spring, but it's been cold. Thankfully, though, the sun has been shining and that gives me spring vibes. So,
okay. So here's what I want people to do. Tell us what is blooming around you, because Okay. You may not have things blooming yet, but when do you have like daffodils or tulips or anything that pop up around Easter?
Sometimes this year, I don't think that they will be up by Easter. Like literally nothing is coming. We don't even have green grass yet. It's literally just
Well,
brown.
you can say nothing if you're in the cold. You can say snow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no snow anymore. Thankfully, it did melt away. We had a little dusting yesterday morning, but it melted away pretty quickly once the sun was up. But it, yeah, definitely still feeling a bit wintry here. But hopefully, the spring will decide to come and stay very, very soon. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was 90. It was
tail end.
93. 93 on Saturday.
That
It
has
was
got to be record breaking. It's March.
64 on Monday. And today is supposed to be 86, tomorrow 91, and then Friday 63.
Whoa, it's literally summer there. Wow.
I know. So our weather's going boom, 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 boom. I mean, like it's
Oh my
supposed to be a
goodness.
low of 34 Friday
Oh,
night. Thursday night is a low of 60.
so weird. So
So
weird.
anyway, we wonder why people get sick here. Oh, today it's going to be me that the sunshine trying to shine on me. So I'm going to move you guys over.
I know it is usually me, but today there's a little bit of clouds covering the sun, so it's not in my eyeballs yet this morning.
Yeah, well,
All
I
right.
moved back. So anyway,
Oh yes, and
and
I didn't
so
mention too that I have 3 cats, and right now we have our grandpuppy and 3 of our grandkitties living with us. Actually, oh, I don't know if you can. Oh no, never mind. I can't move my computer enough. It's plugged in. So anyway, Otis is in here with me.
I love Otis. I want to love on Otis.
Oh, did you hear your name? All right, let me unplug my computer. That way everyone can say hi to Otis.
Hi, Otis.
Say
Hi,
hi.
Otis. I love your ears forward. Yeah.
Like I hear my name.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
goodness.
Now I've got them all riled up. So I'm good at that. Just so you know.
I know he's like, what? Why can't I go through my computer? I want Christine to rub me.
Oh, I'd love all over him and just give him scrunches and scrubs and all kinds of things.
All right. So let's chat a little bit about some things that were that we learned this month or that were aha moments. One thing for me was like it seems so basic and simple, yet it's so funny. And we might need to expand on this a little bit on different things in our life. But I was reading a book, and the reason why I even picked it up to begin with was because it was part of the this month's or this quarter's good read challenge. And so I was like,
Mhm.
okay, and it was available. And so anyway, well, actually, yes, it was available through the thing where I get my books. Anyway, I started reading it, and near the beginning, it seemed pretty good. It was starting to talk about the story of these ladies and kind of just their journey and where they were working and things like this. And I don't remember the exact time frame that these ladies were in. It was kind of like right around wartime, and so women had to kind of go into the workforce when men were out at war. But anyway, I realized that it quickly shifted into just statistic after statistic and like information about like dates and times and all of this stuff over and over and over again. And while it was a little bit, informative and eye opening, it also, I felt like I was in history class. It was so boring. And I was like, I just can't get into this. I'm all about learning. I love learning and I read books to learn all the time. But when they are I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like there are certain books that I can so get into that are literally all about learning something, a topic.
Mhm.
But the way they're written is a way that I'm like, "Oh, I am loving this. I'm wanting to like keep reading because I want to learn more and more." In this book, it was like snooze fest. I found myself like just I couldn't stay into it at all. And I was like, you know what? Why am I reading this? Life is precious. And so it was almost like one of those like light bulb moments for me of I don't
Mhm.
have to read this. I don't
Mm-mm.
have to complete this Goodreads challenge. I don't have to put myself through the torture of history class. This is why I'm not in school anymore because I
It
didn't want
sounds like statistics class. Have you ever
yeah,
taken a statistics class?
no,
Oh,
thank
they're
goodness.
awful. They're awful. Way worse than history. It
Yeah,
is
I've heard this
and
from both of my girls who
oh,
went to college and took statistics and disliked it. So, yeah, I was the information, and I'm not even going to say the book because I don't want to bash on the author. She did lots of research, and I appreciate all the research that she did to put into this book.
Mhm.
I just feel like it could have been presented in a different way. And maybe I didn't give it enough time, but when I don't remember how much percentage through the book I was in or how many chapters I read, but after it was like statistic after statistic and whatever, and it was just so much of my time that I was like, you know what? I am not going to waste another second of my time reading
Mhm.
this book. And it was one of those moments of like, if we are really disliking something in our life, if something is just so time consuming that we're spending so much time on, what can we do to change that? Now, some things are a little bit easier than others, of course, like putting down a book and not even picking it back up again. That's super easy. But we're also like, I was thinking all around things, maybe we absolutely hate doing laundry
Mhm.
or dishes, for instance, because that's one thing I absolutely hate, hate, hate doing. And
We
if
need
you
to live next to each other. I'll do your dishes.
and I'll do your laundry.
You wanna know something fun?
What?
One of my first jobs that I had when I started cleaning houses was laundry.
Mm,
Now, this has been many years ago. She paid me $10 an hour to come in, do all of the laundry, fold it, do all of the sheets, make the beds. That is all I did.
wow. Wow.
And
So it wasn't
I
even
don't
any other cleaning. Must be that was the chore that she hated doing, and she's just like, I'll pay you. You do it."
yes, well, and it ended up rolling into I cleaned her the upstairs of her house. She handled the main floor because her kids were
Mm.
all upstairs, and she's like, "I don't wanna clean up after those messy little things. I love them,
Mhm.
and I don't wanna clean up after them." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, that's fine." Her downstairs was very looked like it came out of a magazine.
Wow.
I mean, it was absolutely beautiful, and she's so, 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 so talented. So and
Wow.
I kinda went, I don't wanna touch the downstairs." It just is too perfect. So, it is a thing,
Yeah. It's definitely
what
a
I
thing, and
hear
it
you
doesn't
saying is the
mean
lesson is you get to set it down if it is
yeah.
not serving you.
Yes, yes, and it
Mhm.
doesn't always mean that you have to pay somebody to do something either. It could
No.
be that you either just cut it out entirely, it would depending on what it is. It could be that you delegate to other people. So maybe there are some people in your life that love doing something. Maybe you can trade, for instance, like we were just talking about, if we live closer to each other, we could trade off on the things. Like I do a chore for you that you don't like doing, and then in turn you do a chore for me that I don't like doing. And it it really is like that. So maybe you have multiple people that live in your house. Delegate the things to them that you don't like
Mhm.
doing. And then in turn, you could pick up some things that they don't like doing. But it's just the point of we don't have to be doing the things that we dislike all the time. And maybe it's your job. And I know that sometimes you feel like you're stuck in your job. It's got the
Mhm.
benefit. You've earned whatever seniority and all of this stuff, but it doesn't mean that you are stuck there for life.
Right,
There are
and don't hear
other
what we're not
choices.
saying. We're not telling you to go quit your job without another
No,
line if we're not saying
no.
that. So don't hear what we're not saying. We're just
Right, right.
saying the awareness. And okay, so, okay, was there anything else on that one? Because Jenny's thing just popped into my head.
Well, it's just the fact that, like, we don't have to stay stuck in different areas. You can
Right.
let things go or set things down or figure out something else. There's always another option. Like, don't ever
Mhm.
feel like you are so stuck in one situation that like, all of this was an aha moment just for me deciding not to read this book.
I
This is
know,
how
isn't
my
that
brain
crazy?
thinks,
Okay,
okay?
I had the similar one when I finally went, "I'm not gonna play this game on my iPad anymore." And I shifted that time into something else.
That's
So
so awesome.
it's just kinda crazy. You know what? I guess I had a similar aha moment on Sunday because I read the Bible recap, and I've done it this is the 4th year in a row, but it got to the point I was checking a box.
Mhm.
I wasn't connecting with God, I wasn't connecting with the word, I was checking a box. I had gotten to where I would listen to it while I do the dishes. "Okay, I'm done." Sunday, it hit me, and I was like, "Oh, this is not this is not good." And I grabbed my iPad, I went into ChatGPT and started looking for a Bible study for my next book. because we've talked about it that I want to do
Mhm.
wellness and that. And it was such an aha moment. And that's what I've shifted into.
That's awesome.
I get to set this down to go for something better.
Yes.
Yes.
So cool. All right, so you were talking about awareness.
Yes. Jenny's comment, Jenny's sentence,
Oh,
that she
yes.
told us, yes, share.
Yes.
I can't think of the exact wording, and I know you
That's
have it
I
written
wrote
up,
it
so
down because I didn't
I
wanna
know.
forget it because it was such an aha moment.
And it
Okay.
was for both of us because 'cause we're both in that training program.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and
Rich
that
Girl Habits Amplified. So if anybody wants more information, we can get it to you. Actually, I don't know if they're still open to people joining. I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
know, but you know what? If they do it again, we can always share it with them because here's the thing, we're constantly learning, obviously.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. You and I are always learning and we always know different things. Like, so if you are ever wondering, like, what is the next class that I should take or what's the next book I should read, we have plenty to recommend. Doesn't mean you have to do it, but we have lots of recommendations.
Yes.
So, all right. So let's get back to this quote. So she said, and I think this is somebody else's quote too, but she said it, and I was just like, whoa, this is so true. If you frowned while looking in the mirror, would you expect the reflection to smile at you?
I
Isn't
know.
that
And
like,
when I first heard that, I just kinda looked at her and I was like, "Well, of course not." And then it's very deep if you really think about it. Because how many
yes,
times do we do something expecting a result, and when it doesn't happen, we keep doing that thing, expecting the result to
yeah,
change. By the way, people, that's the,
yeah.
I think, definition of insanity.
Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure it is. Somebody said that's the definition of
Yes,
insanity,
I'm
and,
almost positive too.
so it it was just so good. Jenny, it's just so good.
Yeah, because and like the whole idea of this is that we actually have control.
Mhm.
And so, for instance, if we want our reflection to smile back at us, we just need to smile at ourselves in the
And
mirror.
it's not complicated.
It's not
We as
complicated.
I think women do this especially. We make it so complicated, and it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, and this is also going along the lines of don't stay stuck. So, like, if you keep doing the
Mhm.
same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, you're not going to get that different result if you keep doing the same thing. You have to shift, you have to change it up. So, whether it be putting that book down, looking for a new job, delegating, doing having somebody else do the dishes for you, no matter what it is, like if there are those things in your life that are keeping you stuck and keeping you in the same patterns, the same result, you have to do something about it.
Yes.
And
Call
that is
Carrie
one of the
Marie.
huge reasons why I do the stuck point scan,
Yes.
because literally in 15 minutes, I can meet with somebody, find out where they're stuck, and release it in 15 minutes. And that's just like that's of course one stuck point, and I can tell though how many stuck points somebody has. And I actually just had a stuck point scan with somebody a couple days ago, and she had, I think it was over 80. I'm not looking at the thing right now. She had over 80 stuck points. And she's like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. I'm like, that's actually very average. A lot of people have around that many stuck points because think about all of the things that we have experienced in our
Mhm.
life, different traumas or different things that we've believed based on things we've seen or things that we've heard or things that people have told us, whatever. And all of those are being stored and keeping us stuck.
Mhm.
And so once we can kind of pinpoint what those things are and release them, all of a sudden it's like letting the floodgates open. It's like, woo, hello. Now I can actually
Mhm.
get the things done I've been meaning to do. You know, like I've had a couple people where I've released things and they've had either household projects or other type of goals that they were working on that they literally had put on the back burner. They had not touched it, they had not thought about it for years. All of a sudden, they're like, boom, into action
Mhm.
and accomplishing things that they literally had kind of written off for themselves, like, you know, almost thinking they're not good enough for it or they don't have time for it or whatever. You know, like we all have those stupid thoughts.
Whatever their
And I call them
false
stupid.
it's false belief. Their false belief. It's a
It
false
is a false
belief.
belief.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Isn't that
Yep.
nuts?
And there are so many different stuck points, but like this, it's so funny. I didn't even think about talking about stuck points today, but a lot of this that we have like had these aha moments is like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
these are the things that are keeping people stuck.
I love that we're constant learners, and I love that
Mhm.
I think a lot of the stuff that we learn is because we have and continue to fine-tune our awareness.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
they were talking about catching it's biblical too, but, take every thought captive. Is that the right wording?
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right wording.
Something like
Something
that
like
though,
that.
that it
So,
does sound.
I'm not quoting the Bible
Mhm.
because 'cause I'm not that good at it yet, but, anyway, awareness, and Jenny and,
Yeah.
I think Karen also, but I think it was Jenny, talking about being aware of your thoughts, and
Mhm.
I think all of this comes down to awareness. You were aware that you went, "I don't wanna read this book. Why am I doing
Mhm.
this? Set it down."
Yep.
I love, 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 love the awareness, and we're not perfect at it. Trust me. Both
Oh,
of us
no,
go
no,
down the rabbit
absolutely.
hole sometimes and just wanna wallow up in the rabbit fur and stay there.
Our life is like a practice, like, we're just
I know.
literally practicing things every day, like, we're obviously getting better at things, and that's the thing, like you were just saying, we get better at becoming aware of our feelings, of our thoughts, of our actions, because we are constantly practicing that
Mhm.
awareness. Whereas sometimes, most people are literally just going through the motions of life. They're not becoming aware of all of those little tiny pieces throughout the day, and so that's why sometimes having reminders on your phone to just check in with
Mhm.
yourself of how you're feeling, what you're doing, can you shift anything, or having a sticky note up, like for instance, the sticky note to remind you to breathe.
Mhm.
And I'm obviously we breathe naturally, but like the deep breathing to reset. And you sometimes just need little reminders to check in with yourself and to become aware because it is a practice and sometimes it doesn't come naturally. We are not taught this when we're young,
Mm-mm.
most of us anyway. We're not taught this when we're young to check in and catch ourselves, when we might be spiraling out of control with our thoughts and our feelings and our actions and things like that. It's like, oh, hold on a sec. I actually can control this.
Yes.
I have this awareness that I can check in with myself. And so, yeah. Anyway, I love that you brought up awareness.
Yes.
Also, just kind of shifting gears, but I know one of the things you had told me about that was super eye-opening and also is a form of awareness of paying attention to our bodies and being an advocate for ourselves
Mhm.
and all of that. But you learned something in a book about that hormone. Do you remember the name of it?
Okay, so it was actually I'm doing a it's
Oh, it's
called
part of the course,
it's
right?
called lay counseling. So it's Lifeline to Hope. So it's a care
Oh no. Christine left. Where is she?
that was
Oh yeah, there
that
you
was
are.
weird.
That was so weird. And now we're switched sides.
That is so weird. Like, I went, "What? Where did I go?"
I
Anyway,
know you were literally
so
in the middle of a sentence.
so I'm doing the lay counseling program through a church here, and it's being taught by a local, therapist. Okay, Daniel, I'm sorry. If you watch this and I have your title wrong, please just put it in the comments. Anyway, it's Lifeline to Hope because we live in a county that is, um, like, top suicide county in the state. So they're
Wow.
training up people
So
to help. But this is what my aha was is in this, all of a sudden he's to me it was all of a sudden he's like, "Okay." Stop the tape. He goes up in the front and he said, "When I have people come in that have anxiety or depression or anger issues," or he lists a whole bunch of things. He said, "My first thing is I send them for a hormone test."
wow.
And specifically, and you have to ask for this, if they don't do it, is it's called SHBG and it's sex hormone binding globulin. So, what was interesting is that, say, a man goes in to get his testosterone levels checked and they're perfect. But if this element is out of whack, he's going to be out of whack.
That's
Isn't
so
that
crazy. Yeah,
crazy?
and when you told me about that, I looked up because I had function health blood testing done, and I was like, oh, I wonder if mine was tested. Now I'm gonna pull it up to see, but it was. I had this test done because I had the full hormone panel, and that's the thing is like not to bash regular doctors or anything, but a lot of times your regular doctor doesn't know to or can't get certain testing
Mhm.
done. It's crazy to me. I'm sorry, but if you go to school all of those years, like why can't you order a full panel of anything for blood testing?
Our
Like
our
you are a
our
doctor.
health insurance system. That's another rabbit hole we can go down, and I'm not going down it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, we won't get too much into that, but let me just pull up
so
really quick
while
that
you're pulling that up, so some of the things it says that this can be is like emotional problems, relationship problems, if it is husband and wife issues and they're having issues basically with their sex life, um, this could be why, because it's not that they don't have the attraction anymore, it's that there is something physically wrong. But when he was
and
saying
do
that,
you
and I was like, okay, that is so amazing that he understands the connection
yes.
between all things. Everything's connected, people. All of this body is connected. So it doesn't matter where it's broken, it's going to show up multiple places.
That is amazing that he does that because I bet most people who are in like mental health fields don't think to have things like that checked, yet it can play such a huge part.
Yes.
Like it blows my mind. And did you know that that specific hormone that is a protein made in the liver? So if your liver is out of whack, it could be causing this hormone to be out of whack, which then causes other things to be out of whack. So like it's a spiral. So that's why trying to pay attention to all areas of our body
Mhm.
and see where you can tweak things to improve your health in different areas makes such a huge difference because you might not realize that things are connected at
I
all.
know.
Like for instance, when you're holding money stress specifically, it can cause lower back pain. How crazy is this? Like, it just blows my
Mhm.
mind. Yeah, I understand it. Like, I understand that this is a thing, but it still blows my
I
mind
know.
to think about
It's
how things are connected.
okay. So I
Yeah.
went in, let's see, it's been, I think, 4 years. I broke my hand right here. Well, when I landed on the concrete, it messed up this. Okay, so this has been driving me crazy. I went to the chiropractor yesterday. This was hurting because this rib was out, which was causing this muscle to tighten up, this muscle to tighten up, and this, when she went to massage this muscle, I was stomping my feet because it hurt so bad.
Mm.
And she's like, and I know that she needs to do that to release it, but I was like, holy, all of this caused this.
It's so
Isn't that
crazy.
nuts?
So these are the things we're talking about how everything is connected. When you work on one little thing, it can literally be such a huge ripple
Yes.
effect
So
in
she
your
puts
whole
this
body,
back
whole
into place
being.
and this quit hurting. I'm like, and this didn't hurt. It didn't hurt here. You know, another thing that I learned many, many, many years ago, I sold real estate and I sold a house to a lady who was a um, biofeedback expert. So she did brain scans. In
Mhm.
her research, she worked with a lot of people that had anger management issues, men in particular. And through that, she discovered accidentally every single one had a blow to the right side of their head when they were a kid. Closed wound, like, okay, your brother's swinging the wiffle bat and he smokes you upside the head. Or, you're swinging each other around and you get smoked upside the head. Every single one. And I keep doing left. It's actually the right hand side. So she actually wrote a study. And because of that, they were able to change their technique for helping these guys and able to
Wow.
redirect that. I mean, our
Yeah,
bodies are
that is
so fascinating.
it is. It is. Like, I literally will nerd out on this stuff. Like, when you told me about that, like, I literally am like, okay, let me see this. And of course, my app, it's very specific to me because I'm a middle-aged woman. And thank goodness my levels of that SHBG are normal, like literally, and not just normal on like the high side or normal on the low side, thankfully, right in the middle. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
But I was shocked when I was reading this. It says that the SHBG helps guide decisions about hormone therapy, fertility treatment, and the management of conditions like PCOS or menopause. It said that low SHBG means more free hormones are circulating, which can be seen in PCOS, obesity, insulin resistance, and hypothyroidism. Like, how crazy is this? And it also can contribute to acne, excess hair growth, irregular periods, increased risk of metabolic or cardiovascular problems. I mean, this is just this one
One
hormone.
hormone.
If it's a little low, and then if it's high, it means that it can let's see, hot hypothyroid or hyperthyroidism. It can lead to symptoms like low sex drive, fatigue, and bone loss. I mean, that's so crazy to me that something like this can affect all of those different areas. And this is just literally
One.
one hormone. And like, we have so many different things that are going on in our body all the time. So like, if one thing like that can affect so much, what else is there going on in our body? I mean, we nerded out on that because you learned it from the guy.
Thank you, Daniel. And here's the thing, we're not trying to freak anybody out. We're trying to bring, again, awareness. So if you have something that's going on and the doctor says there's nothing you can do about it, you're getting older, whatever the excuse is, but you know something is off, dig. Because there's lots of like the functional testing that Carrie Marie had done, the hair analysis that I had done, the DNA tests
Mhm,
that I had done. There are so many ways, and I think the awareness is coming back
mhm.
because I know there is a facility in Texas. I think it's in Texas. Anyway, um, Tony Robbins talks about it in his book, and they are proactive testing things. But it's a
That's
membership. It
so great.
doesn't go through your insurance anyway, and it's expensive. I will not lie. I looked into it. It's expensive. But what's your
Yeah.
life worth?
Exactly, exactly. I mean, we have to invest in ourselves if we wanna live a healthy and full and long life,
Yes.
you know? I mean, of course, there are accidents that happen, but I mean, during the time that we have here on Earth, might as well know what's going on inside of our bodies and be able to help it in any way that we can. And yeah, like the function health also isn't like necessarily covered under insurance, although if anybody has like a health savings plan or health reimbursement a plan or something like that, it is covered by it. And so if anybody wants information about it, I'm happy to share. And actually I have a code that I can, like, it's a referral link basically. They can give somebody $25 off, I think, or 25% off. I can't
I
remember.
think it
Do
was
you remember? I think I
$25.
sent it to you.
I haven't opened mine
25.
yet because yesterday was just I had my granddaughter yesterday.
Oh,
And you know what I
yay! How
learned? Here's what
exciting.
I learned yesterday. Is I sat down and I'm like, "Okay, I can leave her in the living room. She's 9. She's perfectly self-sufficient, watching TV,
Mhm.
and I came in here to work." And I'm in the middle of working, and all of a sudden I went, "You know what? I don't get time with her." I quit working. I thought, "You know what? God's going to provide. I can't." And I shut my computer, went in there, we played Yahtzee and um Uno.
Oh.
She beat me a few times at Uno. And I was teaching
That's
her
so
how to play
awesome.
Yahtzee, and right after I taught her a few things, she rolled Yahtzee on the first roll. I'm like, "Well, I'm
Wow.
gonna lose this game." And she rolled it twice that same time. But here's what I learned. That time with her, I can't get back. I couldn't have gotten it back, and I could have easily ignored her because that's
Yep.
basically what I'd have been
Yeah.
doing is ignoring her. So
Yep. Life is precious and we only have these moments, for a short
Yeah.
time, especially with children. Children grow so fast. They grow up so fast. They're changing so fast. Like we need to do that. Anytime I go to a baby shower and there's like those little things where you have to put in like advice for the mom or for the parents or whatever, I'm always like, oh my goodness, enjoy every moment. And because like literally they grow up so fast. They
Mhm.
grow up in the blink of an eye, and even if they're fussy, try to find something in that moment to love about them and to just love in that moment because they will only be that age, that moment. And also take lots of pictures because they grow up so fast and you want to capture
Yes, yes,
it.
and yes, and I've never given birth to children. However, I've told many moms that are like their children are in meltdown mode. I'm like, well, first of all, is whatever their action that they're doing that is driving you crazy, is it a good trait as an adult? And usually the moms look at me crazy, and I'm like, okay, if your child is saying, no, I'm not eating that, well, as an adult, that might be a good trait. No, I'm not gonna hug that person. Don't force them. There's a reason.
Like Santa Claus. So no offense to anybody who has their kids picture taken with Santa Claus, but that's scary. Putting your child on like a random stranger's lap, especially a man, like that can be really scary
Yes,
for a kid. So if they don't want to do it, don't worry about it.
yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's actually like a safety mechanism that they have just built right in, that they're afraid of some random stranger.
Yeah, don't talk to
That's a
strangers,
good
but here,
thing.
sit on this stranger's lap. I mean, anyway. Okay, we're going down a rabbit hole. So we're
Yes, and we are, like, at time,
yes,
so
and I do not want to miss. You have got to tune in next week. I am so excited about next week.
Yes, next week we're doing a special April Fool's Day Myth Buster edition, so
No.
you totally have to tune
Yes,
in.
and the week after I okay.
The week after is gonna be,
Oh,
interactive, so you have to tune in for the interactive one.
yes,
Yes.
because
What's the date?
one of our myths that we're going to share with you next week, we're going to dive deeper in the week after. And so you're gonna
Yes.
wanna tune in, especially if you eat.
Yes,
Which,
so
by the
that's
way,
on
is
the 8th.
everybody.
So you wanna tune in on the 1st and the 8th because we're gonna be busting some myths next week, for the special April Fool's edition, and then the next week is almost gonna be like a trivia
Yes,
a day where we're going to be testing your knowledge on some things, and so you definitely want to tune in on the 8th as well. So, and of course, as you probably know, we go live every Wednesday morning
mhm,
for the Wellness Wake Up Weekly at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, and you can also watch all the replays on our YouTube channels
mhm.
just in case Facebook doesn't save them all.
Yes,
so so be sure to tune in and watch those. And the cool thing about YouTube is that you can do a little search in a channel. So if there are certain topics that you definitely want to learn about, rather than having to go back through and watching every single episode, you can do a little search and it will pull right up the videos that have that particular topic. So
yes, yes, and yes.
yay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I will see you next week. Have an awesome